So yeah, once you've worked for it and you've actually achieved it and you've kind of earned it, like you've dedicated a certain amount of time and hard work towards trying to achieve a goal, and you finally get there, like I was saying, it kind of inspires you to do it again. You know, you feel motivated. You know, once you get that sense of accomplishment, that sense of achievement, it's so gratifying. Like, you know, you feel so happy with yourself. You really, that feeling of like self-achievement sometimes is so great, because it's just like you knew the whole time that you could do it. All you had to do was be willing to invest the time and the hard work and the energy and what was required to do it. And sometimes you can be skeptical initially when it comes to approaching something initially, because you know, so everyone sometimes deals with doubts and self-doubt, and you know if what happens if it goes wrong, and you know, all these different things that sometimes people ask themselves and question themselves about, and which kind of deters them from taking that final step of faith to work towards, like that final leap of faith towards working towards to what they want, you know. So yeah, you know, it's all about believing in yourself, yeah, and self-confidence. Yeah.
Not relying on anyone else, really.
No, that's it. Say that again, mate. Can you say that again?
Not relying on anyone else.
Thank you.
You know, I think everyone's really got to learn to be independent, really, in life, haven't they? That's the truth.
Yeah. Stop thinking that the world... there's a lot of people out there that really think the world owes them something, mate. Or that other people owe them something.
It's all going to come to them.
Yeah, that's going to fall out of the sky. That all of a sudden a magic box is going to fall out of the sky with everything, that all their wishes are, you know, all their wishes granted. You know, without doing anything. You know, some people out there, like, honestly, like, I've seen so many people in my... like I said before, I'm young, I'm only 30, you know, give thanks, you know, give praise, you know, all praise to, to God, you know, but I've seen so many people already in my young life, mate, that have potential to do great things, that have just squandered it, literally just squandered it, mate, in whatever it was, just because they weren't willing to apply themselves enough. It's as simple as that.
They don't believe in themselves, a lot of people.
True, sometimes that is it. But some people are just also lazy. And because we're talking about truth and honesty tonight, I just want to be brutally honest. There are a lot of people that are just lazy. They know what they could achieve, they know what they could do, but they just do not have what it takes to apply themselves enough to get to that final point of achievement, if you see what I mean, you know. And if you suffer with those things, and you identify that as one of your flaws, it's something that you can work on. You've got to be disciplined. If you find that you can't, you know, if you're struggling, you procrastinate a lot and stuff like that, then get a routine. If you see what I mean, if you're the type of person, sometimes, right, some people need to write down every night before they go to bed. Just a small example. If you're one of these people that struggles to focus on all the stuff that you need to get done every day during the week, especially as a grown adult person, like you know, all of us that got shit to handle, some people actually will write down the night before they go to bed. They'll write down all the things they need to do the next day, if you get what I'm saying. So their whole day is already planned. So it helps them in a way not to procrastinate, because from the time they wake up, they know, okay, the first thing on my list is what I need to do, and I need to do this. Once that's done, tick that box.
It feels obsessive.
No, but for some people need that.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, not everyone needs that. I don't need that.
No, I don't.
I know what I need to do every day, and I've got a tick box in my head. If you see what I mean, it's all in my head. I've got a tick box of all the things I need to do, I need to handle, I need to whatever, where I need to be, what I need, you know, like you, same as you. But some people struggle, mate. They need a reminder. You know what I mean? They need like a schedule to keep them on point. Otherwise, they just kind of lose interest, you know, and don't get anywhere. You know. So sometimes it just comes down literally to discipline. If you implement a rigorous routine into your life to try to change your life, you know what I mean, then you can do it. But it's just about discipline. Yeah.
So I mean, everyone's got different responsibilities. I really haven't got many.
Yeah.
I haven't got children like you or anything. You know, I'm free of all that. You know, I focus on myself.
Yeah.
You know, So I'm lucky that I can just focus on myself today.
Yeah.
And I haven't got to put my energy out to anyone else
Yeah.
today, if you sort of mean. And that's I find it quite beautiful, really, because I've done the family bit.
Yeah.
I've done that. You know, it's like looking at my childhood now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just finding it's a bit sad, really. I wish I was younger. You know, I do. I wish I was 21, but I'm not. But you know, I've just got to accept I'm 58. I know all the things that I do know today, and I just feel that, you know, hopefully I should have quite a happy future. You know, I'm going to try to anyway. I'm going to try my best. You know, I mean, when it gets cold, you just got to try to keep warm. When it rains, you got to keep dry, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? And so on.
Yeah.
We all get these problems. All of us. Don't matter who you are. We all get sunburnt or whatever.
Yeah.
Or we could all get burnt by fire. We all feel pain.
Yeah.
We're all kind of the same, aren't we? In reality.
In reality.
But we're kind of like different in education.
We're all having a human experience, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But our education's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I find it very strange and odd that they ain't got no philosophy at school. I find it, you know, funny, you know, that they ain't got philosophy at school. It's so important, really. You can imagine it, can't you? You know, if children were taught proper philosophy at school, it's like they want children to leave school stupid and get themselves into trouble in a kind of way. It's so important, you know. It would reduce crime completely down if there was philosophy in school. You know, if we stop jealousy, if we stop bullying, for goodness sake, you know, why is there bullying at school? And there is, you know, I'm talking about 50 years ago. There was a lot of bullying going on in my day when I was at school. Probably at your day.
Oh yeah, of course.
And probably still today. Do you know what I mean? It's just.
I used to see people getting bullied almost every day, mate. Honestly. And I'm glad that, even though, like I said before, I won't go on about it because I've spoken about it a fair few times before, but as much as me and my stepfather didn't really get on, even though he was only in our life for about 7 years, I think, altogether. I think roughly about 7, 8, I think no more than 9 years, I can't remember exactly, but I think it's about 7 to be honest. But I must say the only good thing, really, one of the good things about him being there at the time really was he was there at an age where I needed someone to toughen me up as a young boy and be able to hold my own in that environment. And I'm glad that, even though like I said, me and him didn't have a great relationship, one thing I will credit him for really is for kind of teaching me from young, like, listen, you know, you can't allow anyone to bully you or to to walk all over you, otherwise they'll continue to do it. And then, they'll take your money, especially in secondary school and shit, when it gets a bit more serious and this kind of thing, you know. So I'm glad I was always the type of person that I could stand up for myself and defend myself and kind of hold my own, you know, and I was never really fearful, you know, of growing up, you know. I was never really, you know, due to him kind of, you know, teaching me certain things and, you know, like I said, you know, teaching me how to take a blow occasionally, you know, how to, you know, how to be tough kind of thing. Because like you said, bullying is very rampant in schools, and unfortunately, especially today more than ever, especially with social media and all these things as well too, there's a lot more things for people to bully people about today, you know, in schools. But I'm glad also my son, like, no one will mess with my son at school. Like, I remember there's even like a couple of years ago, someone did try to mess with him, and he really taught them a lesson, and I got called up to school, you know what I mean? But he was defending himself. He didn't start it, because I've always said to him, you don't start fights. You do not put your hands on anyone unless they put their hands on you first. I've always told him that. You do not start fights. So yeah, I got called up at school, and basically they said, oh, you know, your son's been, you know, involved in this incident. And I said, okay, please tell me what's happened. They said, oh, this other boy, apparently he wouldn't leave my son alone. And he eventually got a little bit aggressive with my son, and my son kind of, you know, gave him a wallop, as we would say, you know, give him a good old, you know, thump, you know. And then, I said to them basically, like, you know, I know he shouldn't be fighting at school, but at the end of the day, I've told him. I was even honest with them, you know what I mean, and they didn't like it. I must say, the principal, he didn't look like he was too happy about it when I was really honest with him, you know. But I said to him, I have told him that he's not to take any bullying from anyone, and that it's kind of my fault to a degree. I did admit that to the principal, if you see what I mean, that I had told my son, you know, not to, you know, bully anyone, you know, but not to take anything from anyone. You know, and ever since then, no other incidents have occurred, if you get what I'm saying. So I guess people have, boys around him and others around him realised that he was not a rollover, if you get what I'm saying.
So I mean, like, going back to philosophy at school and all that, I personally think it's a lot more important than biology, that's for sure. You know, I don't think, does biology make you a better person?
I think it does.
It
like
do, maybe,
biology, to me, biology. What interests me, of course, the human body and all that type of stuff is fascinating and very, etc. Very interesting. But to me, like biology-wise, like for me, it's like the brain, which is almost like chemistry essentially. It's like a mixture of biology and chemistry, because our brain's like a chemical lab, if you see what I mean. Essentially, almost, made up of there's so much stuff going on inside of our cranium. Between our ears, there's so much stuff going on. Electrical signals and you've got so many different parts of your brain and your cerebellum and your front, So you've got your cerebral cortex.
I do understand biology to a degree. I have studied it to a degree. Do you know what I mean? I do find it quite interesting. But I just think, like, philosophy is a lot more important.
I agree.
I think it's more important than maths. Maths is important too. I think it's important to learn to add up, isn't it? Like money.
Yeah.
I think, and whatever.
Yeah. But the philosophy too of understanding the human brain, to me, is really just for me personally, is really fascinating. Because it's like, once you understand how it all really works, your brain, all the chemicals, the serotonin, the dopamine, all these different things, and how it all works.
Bit of honey.
That's what I mean. All these things, how your brain reacts. Like literally, you will become a different person. Honestly, you will become a more intelligent, enhanced version of yourself. Because once you really understand how it all works, then you've got a deeper understanding of yourself. You see what I mean? You will get a deeper, like I said, a deeper understanding of yourself. You will, be able to see things from a different perspective. You understand why you might do certain things, or why certain things might affect you or trigger you, or So it's very interesting.
I mean, there is so many things interesting in life, isn't there? Like the imagination, that's even interesting. I just find. Even, I think, like, we're talking about the truth and honesty today, aren't we? And everyone's trying to seek the truth, aren't they?
Well, I think today we're living in an age where people are more aware of lots of different universal truths today, in terms of like conspiracies and what's really going on with the powers that be and the governments and all the conspiracies and all that type of shit. I think a lot of people are very aware and very awake to a lot of the corruption, lots of other things that are going on today, the injustices of our society, if you see what I mean. Like, I think a lot of people are a lot more knowledgeable of these things today. That's why, like, even yesterday you saw apparently there was 300,000 people
in London
that marched in London for Palestine, in support of Palestine, in support of what Israel is doing to those people right now. You know what I mean? But we won't go into that too much, because obviously we don't want to get in trouble.
Well, to be honest with you,
but if you know the truth, you know the truth, and what is going on right now is a genocide. That's all I will say. And also something that a lot of the media aren't talking about either. Is the Congo, what's happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo right now. There's also the very similar thing happening right now there too as well. And a few other different countries in the world. There's a few different genocides that are going on. and the media and shit only tend to focus on certain things and certain ones, and of course those things are horrible too, and they're atrocious, right? But the same way that you shed light on one thing that's going on and these terrible things that are going on in this country, you should also be shedding light on what's going on in these other countries too as well, because it's not fair to those people either, you know, for them to have to be suffering the way that they're suffering and having to endure what they're having to endure, you know. Imagine having newborn children and not knowing whether or not you're going to make it. When you go to sleep at night, whether or not you're going to make it through to the morning, whether or not a missile or one of these bombs is going to drop on your house and blow up you and your neighbours and your family and your loved ones and your animals and your pets and everything else, destroy your schools and your food systems and your water system and you know. And your electrical systems and your Wi-Fi systems, and you know, it just makes me, in all honesty, mate, it makes my blood boil, mate. Honestly, like these people, the way some people have no regard for other human beings and their lives, you know, treating these. The only people that really ever suffer in these things are the innocent bystanders. If you see what I mean, the only collateral damage is always the people. If you get what I'm saying, it's the majority of people that suffer. If you see what I mean, and it's like, you know, it's like old men plan wars that young men fight. You know, but in my eyes, you know, that's a very popular saying. That's a very popular quote. You know, old men plan wars that young men fight. But in my eyes, it's evil men. Evil men plan wars and plot wars. People with agendas, people with too much money and wickedness are the ones planning wars, you know. So just being honest about it, as we're talking about truth and honesty.
You think about wars, yeah. We're not going to be here for long anyway. We're all going to die. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's it. You know,
but I just think
that's
what I'm saying. But I just think it's wicked that people it's wicked that mate, it's because we don't experience it, right? Because we're not living in it and we're not experiencing it in it, right? You can it can really affect you and empathize. You can really empathize with these people, but unless you're living in these people's shoes, you can't fully understand and comprehend what that must feel like. Imagine you and your wife have not long got married. You got kids. You're madly in love. You just got some newborn kids, couple of twins.
There's all kinds of circumstances out there.
But you get what I'm saying, like just being hypothetical now because of what's going on right now, that everybody knows what's going on, what people are talking about.
Well, I'll be honest with you, to be honest with you, I don't watch the news anymore.
Well, same.
I mean, I must admit, I did catch the London thingy. So I was saw on YouTube yesterday or something, you know, but I didn't really sort of pay attention to it much. You know, I didn't really want to watch it anymore. Do you know what I mean? It kind of like, I want to enjoy my life. Do you know what I mean? The rest of I'm not here for long. I'm only here for another 20 years. Why should I? No,
I agree with you. Like I'm the same. I agree with you too.
Why should I watch?
But at the same time, like I'm a big believer in like what's going on right now, right? There's more people coming together to create change now in society than ever before.
Yeah.
Do you know what is 300,000 people marching in London, mate? Imagine if the next time it happens, they have another protest that another 200,000 people want to get involved too. And the next time they do it again, it's 500,000 people. The reason that they fear these things, do you think they can control 500,000 people, mate?
I don't know.
Do you think they've got?
I get that up a lot.
But what I'm trying to say, do you think they've got enough coppers and enough all this shit? It's impossible. So the reason that they fear this today, right, mate, is because people are rising up in large numbers, and because of that, real change is being initiated in real time, more so than ever before.
Oh yeah.
People are fed up. People
are. I think things are changing in many different ways. You know, like I said, like there's cameras everywhere.
Big brother.
Whatever, and you know, if you do something wrong, you're going to get caught. You see what I mean? That's
everything.
You know, that's the world we're living in. You know, but it's changed. Definitely, it's changed a big time.
Yeah.
In 20 years, let's put it that way, or 25 years. It's kind of, we're living in a completely different world, if you ask me.
Yeah, true.
In a funny way, you know.
Yeah.
With the same people living in it. Almost. You know, there's a few newborns. You know, I mean, people that are being born today.
Yeah.
They ain't got a clue about the Twin Towers.
No, true, yeah.
Things, you know,
Yeah.
or a lot of things that happen. You know, they're new to the world today. You know, by the time they're 18, they might start learning about other things going on. You know what I mean? You know, there might be another Twin Towers come down or something.
Yeah.
In another 20 years' time. We don't know what's going to happen next. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like every decade that goes on, something goes wrong. Like Titanic went down. You know, the truth is, I feel like when something good happens, like, I mean, Titanic.
Yeah.
I think 2 ships were built.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. From 2 different companies or something. You know, I don't know a lot about it. But they were built, and it's its first voyage ever. And everyone is in the papers, probably, because they didn't have television. I don't think so much then. Some people did, maybe. But, you know, it's all around on the news. This ship, and, you know, rich people start getting on it. The first voyage it went out, it sunk. What about that?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, wow. You know, and it's like Diana. She's lovely, everyone loved her.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
You know, in a horrific, horrible crash.
But if you check it right, mate, anyone that ever really speaks out or says too much, or is against certain things, against certain principles, against certain...
like John Lennon shot.
Yeah.
You know,
and the list goes on. There's a lot. There's a very long list, mate.
The truth is,
even today, modern day society, you hear of people dying in some very strange circumstances. You know what I mean? That makes you question everything. You know, and then you really realise what's really going on.
Like John Kennedy, you know, another one. You know,
exactly.
Shot and
when you become a threat to the system, to the people that are really running shit, and you become too much of a threat, you become too much of a power, too much of a voice, too much of a...
I think even Michael Jackson was taken down, do you know what I mean?
Same personally. Just being honest and truthful, as we're being very honest and truthful tonight. You know?
But that's my opinion, you know.
Same,
I might not be right.
But I think mate, from everything that I know, I believe what you said to be 100% true. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that 100%, mate. Anyway, mate, before we wrap it up and call it a night for this week's episode, any final words, any closing statements, anything at all you want to leave with the people in regards to truth and honesty?
Well, like I said, you know, it's just best at the end of the day, for yourself, your own good, to be honest and truthful at all times. I've learned that.
Yeah, same.
And you know, when you do decide to not lie anymore, you start feeling good.
Yeah. That's true.
When you lie, you're gonna start feeling bad, or you're gonna have to remember that lie for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? For a long time, you know. And it's not very comfortable living with lies. You know, the more you lie, the more uncomfortable you're gonna start feeling.
Yeah.
Life, the more unhappy you're gonna feel. Basically.
Yeah.
And that's really basically it, really.
Yeah.
What else can I say? You know.
It's better to live with a clean and a clear conscience. You know. Yeah. Just to try your best, like you said, try your best to always be honest and truthful with yourself and with people. You know. Especially as a grown person, like your word is almost your bond, and the less you keep your word, and the less you kind of like you're not trustworthy in terms of what you say or what you agree to, or the promises that you make, or the things that you agree to do, or things you agree to help with, or whatever the case may be. If you're not, you know, reliable in that regard, then you know people that won't think very highly of you, to be very honest with you, you know. It's better to be truthful, and you know, you don't have to be truthful to the point where you're overly transparent with everyone, you know, but you should definitely be truthful with yourself and your loved ones, you know. Yeah.
I think it's like a mirror, really. You know, like if I lie to you, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
If you're angry with someone, you're angry with yourself.
Yeah.
You see, that's how it kind of works.
It's true.
Like,
Yeah.
Karma effect, whatever. Mirror.
Yeah, sometimes people project their anger onto other people too, you know. There's a lot of people, like sometimes people get triggered by certain things, and then the people around them, the people that they love, take the brunt of it. If you get what I mean, because they might be stressed out, or they might be under pressure, or someone might piss them off, and then the person that they come into immediate contact with afterwards is the one sometimes that has to deal with the trauma of that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not always easy either.
But I think it's just good to keep loyal, trust.
Yeah. Your word should be your bond as a grown person, as much as possible. Don't get me wrong, sometimes shit happens and you can't always do something that you might have said you promised to do or whatever, shit happens, but you should always try to be as reliable as possible.
Don't steal off anyone.
No.
And so on.
Yeah.
Be kind to yourself, be kind to others,
Yeah, do unto people as, like the golden rule, as they would always say, growing up in school, the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. As simple as that, love people the way that you want to be loved, respect people the way that you want to be respected, and treat people the way that you would want to be treated. Right.
Yeah, and look after yourself as well, and keep yourself clean.
Yeah.
I think as well, which is important.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this week's episode. Of course, we'll be back again next week with a brand new episode, so please stay tuned for that. We are the Philosophy Podcast. Good night. God bless. One love. See you soon. Yeah.